Alrighty, hello everybody. And we'll go back to the MALT round of 16. We are starting to reach the end of the round of 16 weekend. Only a couple more matches left to go, all in one very convenient super block for you guys to watch. And we are kicking it off with none other than Kzon going up against Shikitashi in a winner's bracket showdown. So not a lot on the line for these two players, but definitely wanting to keep that winner's bracket run alive going into the quarterfinals. Right now we are currently in one of the charts here, getting started just a little bit late, but I'm gonna catch you guys up on all the action so far. As always, my name is Sparkin. I'm going to be joined in the commentary booth in just a little bit by none other than Surf285. He's just taking care of something in the background. But this is actually the first pick of this match for these two players, so not a lot missed as we make our way along here. It is currently Kzon ahead in terms of ratio. Both players holding onto their FCs for the moment as Bancho tries to keep everything in check. You can see here is about 4,000 points in favor of Kzon for the moment, about 0.2% in terms of the accuracy as well. But for right now, just making sure. You can see Shikitashi starting to play again. Hopefully Kzon did not disconnect. It might just be a little bit of Bancho lag. You know how this tournament client loves to keep us all entertained, as if though the match wasn't already entertaining enough. Yeah, it looks like once everything gets caught up, it is going to be Kzon taking the first map in this match. An unfortunate draw from Shikitashi there towards the end, being their undoing, but I think they would have lost on ratio regardless. A very strong score going the way of Kzon, and actually the first break point in this match as well. So now it's going to be Kzon up to pick next. Get me interested to see what avenue of approach they go for on this map pool. I wonder if we're just going to have a straight up Rice battle between these two, given how comfortable they were on the core jack pick. Now looks like it's going to be Rice 1, so going into Boxel Adventure, sticking with the Rice battle for the moment. So right now, just waiting on the players to ready up. MP Star Command comes out. We're going to get into the second map of this best of 9. First player to get those 5 points will be securing themselves a spot in that winner's quarterfinals. Loser not eliminated just yet. Just going to need to make the run down in that loser's bracket as we get this map underway. Some interesting trades in terms of accuracy going on between the two players, and I think there's a couple of lag spikes to deal with, but it starts to clear up just a little bit here. And when all is said and done, Shikitashi actually holding on to a tiny bit of an accuracy lead, 99% just over Kzon, just under that bar, but hot on the trail of Shikitashi here, about 0.2% separating both players. As we make our way into the second quarter of the chart, now both of them starting to equalize here, hovering in that 99% mark. And we're going to start playing a little bit of tug of war with this leaderboard before too long. it's really just going to come down to who blinks first, who finds that crucial miss at the most inopportune time as we approach the second third of the chart. Misses from this point on would be absolutely devastating. It would probably swing the lead one way or the other immensely. And even with that, both players holding on to their FCs for the moment. It is 7,000 points the lead in favor of Kzon for the moment. As we continue on here, it is still roughly the same going for both players. Looks like they have both settled in to their respective accuracy thresholds, and as I say that, they're starting to find little chips of damage here and there, and just like that, that 7,000 point lead is gone. It is now gonna start going back and forth between the two players that are with hundreds of a percent of each other for the moment, inside of 1,000 points between them as they make their way through the last couple of streams here. It is way too close to call for the moment. As we get into the last couple of notes, it is going to be Kzon taking the point by 375 points. That is way too close for comfort as both players manage to hold on for the FCs here. 1-300 the difference between the two of them, a couple of 200s to the names, and I think that 150 being the undoing for Shikitashi there when all was said and done. Incredible performances from both players there, but it will be 2-0 in favor of Kzon now, with Shikitashi up to pick once again. Now looks like Shikitashi gonna change things up here, not go for the all rice battle match that we've had so far. Gonna dive down into the hybrids here, gonna go for Lancelot. Right, I think we are just waiting on Kzon to ready up here. They do have a couple of minutes to make sure they are ready. And sure enough, the MP Star command comes out. We're going to get into this third map of this best of 9.
Thankfully, I can finally say I'm back.
Let's go. Welcome back, Surf. Introduced you at the top of the broadcast. Knew you'd be coming in just a little bit later, and what a time to join just in time for the first hybrid of the match here.
I actually like this pick coming from Shikitashi here because this chart in particular is actually pretty close with Rice 1 in terms of patterning, especially near the end. And we saw Kzon kind of struggle maintaining the accuracy when the stairs started to pick up.
Yeah, for sure. Really edging out a pretty substantial lead for the moment. Still hovering at that 99% mark. Kzon really letting it go by the wayside despite holding on to the FC here, dropping a ton of accuracy in comparison, down in that 97% range now as we make our way into the second third of the chart.
Shikitashi unfortunately finding a drop though. There's a pretty sizable lead here, but Kzon's accuracy needs to start increasing here because even oh my gosh, Shikitashi finding yet another drop, and actually that gives Kzon a taste of the lead. Shikitashi needs to limit these mistakes as we enter the second half of this chart.
Yeah, I do very fortunately still have the accuracy advantage, and might actually still be able to claw back some of this lead once they cross over that 400 combo cap. But the most important part of that is the fact that they need to actually hold on to some semblance of combo throughout this last section. And it's starting to go their way ever so slightly. It was 5,000, shrinking to about 3,000, give or take. Every 200 rings out, it starts to shift a little bit back forward in favor of Kzon for the moment. Last eighth of the chart still left to go. Not out of this just yet.
Kzon, the consistency in this combo has been giving them the breathing room that they really need to get their third point in a row. But Shikitashi slowly catching up. But the problem is that I don't think there's enough time anymore.
No, the map's about to come to an end, and it will be Kzon hanging on to take their second breakpoint in this match to make it 3-0 now.
Really unfortunate misses. Combo drops from Shikitashi because they practically have good control in this chart overall, aside from the mishaps. Kzon with a respectable full combo here, doing just enough to grab this point and take advantage of Shikitashi's misfortunes.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a matter of consistency versus accuracy sometimes, and it looks like Kzon's gonna stay with the Rice picks here. Gonna stay with Rice 2, go into our Chord Stream pick, and you imagine there's gonna be another little taste of the accuracy showdown these two have been having on these Rice charts so far.
Yeah, both of the players actually avoiding any of the LN picks, and really surprising here. Because sometimes like when, like especially for Shikitashi, you might need to start looking into that side of the pool once you go for your next pick, because this isn't exactly a position that you want. Kzon presumably, like let's say they get this point, there's Oekaki, like Kzon could easily pick that and close this one out. So aside from just being more strategic, I guess with their picking, come the next round, Shikitashi desperately needs to grab this breakpoint now.
Yeah, they're gonna need to pick this one up if they want to have any semblance of making the comeback here. Not impossible, but hills can quickly become mountains if you're not too careful. And as we get this map underway, it'll be interesting to see how they perform.
Again, you've mentioned that Shikitashi has been able to maintain accuracy throughout the entire chart better than what we saw from Kzon, but the inconsistencies that we see from Shikitashi's side has become their undoing over the past few charts. But if you're Shikitashi right now, you kind of want to get that consistency also in your end. Like maybe try taking less of a risk, like acting and get through the combos as well, because right now your accuracy is doing just well enough.
Just well enough indeed, but not able to maintain the consistency that's needed to really see themselves through some of these charts. Gonna pick up the first drop of the map, and it's gonna give Kzon a little bit of a buffer to work with, and it's gonna be the same story we've seen throughout the last couple as well, where Kzon builds up this buffer, doesn't really extend it too far, maybe about 10-12,000 points, but then Shikitashi starts to make their comeback run as they cross that 400 combo cap. Guys are gonna be able to start chipping away at this lead, but they're actually starting to drop a significant amount of AC compared to Kzon at the moment. That gap increasing to about 0.5% for the moment.
Yeah, the slow brackets really giving Shikitashi a lot of problems accuracy wise. There have been mentions like for a lot of the players in this pool that if this chart in particular was like a few BPM faster, then this would have been easy for them. It might be the case for Shikitashi here. Doesn't appear the same for Kzon here, who has been controlling practically all of the Rice picks and carrying that 99.7, as Shikitashi finding 2 consecutive drops here, dropping to below 99%, which is not really a good sign for them.
Yeah, for sure. They're starting to turn into a little bit of a runaway in the context of this match. Kzon really getting into their groove a couple of maps in, not trading any of those misses back, still on course for that full combo as we make our way into the last level of chart. Shikitashi with a final miss for the road, and that will do it for this pick. Kzon making it a match point situation 4-0 right out of the gate here.
Shikitashi really needs to pull something special out of the hat here because they need 4 points, 4 consecutive points to force a tiebreaker. And it isn't looking too good right now.
Yeah, not
Shikitashi will
looking
be
too
going for
good.
hybrid 1.
Indeed, it looks like Hybrid 1 is going to be the pick for Shikitashi to try and right the ship a little bit here. Surprised not going for the LNs, but you gotta stick with what you know when all is said and done, right with what you're comfortable with, even if it means potentially letting your opponent back in to the map itself.
Again, we mentioned like a story, like the story for like the entire match. While Shikitashi has been pretty good on the accuracy side, they need some they really need the consistency now more than ever.
What is it? You gotta combo game sometimes to see yourself through very difficult matchups. But at the end of the day, it's not over until that last map is secured. Player's gonna ready up before too long, and we're gonna get into this 5th map of this best of 9.
Fortunately, this isn't the winner's bracket, so either way, we won't be seeing both of these players still in the next weekend. But as it stands, Shikitashi is on the verge of dropping to the losers bracket and might be fighting for their lives in the tournament next weekend.
Yeah, for sure, and it becomes very interesting dropping into the losers bracket now because of the fact that after this, it's going to be conditional matches for the players to worry about. But that's a conversation for next weekend. We're going to get into this hybrid map now, and it's going to be a bit of a tale of the earlier hybrid where Shikitashi actually able to build up a little bit of an accuracy lead and just waiting to see if they can hang on to the combo here. Kzon doing very well to hold on to their FC despite taking a little bit of damage to their accuracy. It's about 0.2% separating both players as they transition their way through the LN section back into the anchored LN with Rice interspersed in between.
Shikitashi showing better form this time around, but we're about to enter the part of the chart where the transitions get a bit more trickier. Like, the charter is starting to throw a few things that will definitely make players miss if you're not paying enough attention. Kzon already very close in accuracy to Shikitashi, which is something to note. Like, the score gap is actually getting closer and closer. Shikitashi needs to be careful here right now.
Yeah, there was ever a time for them to really show off what they're made of in terms of being able to act their way through patterns such as this. Now is the time to do it. It is 0.02% separating them, and it starts to flip the lead over to Kzon's side for the moment. It is 1,400 points in their favor as it stands. It is going to be Kzon riding this one out unless there's any last second drops here. Still a quarter of the chart left to go. It is still anybody's game for the moment, but Shikitashi is dropping and dropping fast down into the low 99% mark. Kzon not too far ahead at that 99.2 margin, but it is now a full 0.1% that they find themselves in the lead for the moment.
Shikitashi unfortunately finding a few drops in accuracy, especially when the stairs got a bit heavy. And Kzon, on the other hand, showing just how consistent they are. Like, they have been maintaining this accuracy for like a good while in this chart already, and it's really showing. It's really rewarding them right now.
Yeah, rewarding them in spades, and that will be the match. Kzon closing it out by a margin of 5-0. Very fantastic runs from them. Shikitashi doing what they could to make some of these maps very close, but unfortunately not able to scratch the surface of Kzon's performance ability. And Kzon will be moving on to the winners quarterfinals. Shikitashi not out of it just yet, just going to need to make the run in the losers bracket from here on out.
Very, very good run by both of these players in this match. And well, despite the differing results, obviously for both of these players, they need to show a bit more consistency, I would think, going into the next pool, because the pools are going to be stepping up a bit more, and both of these players had their shaky moments over for a few for like a few parts of this match. So that's something that they might need to work on going into the next round. But yeah, I think that's it for this hour. We'll be back in 34 minutes because we have another match here and this is the last losers bracket match. We have Musty and Survey playing each other, playing for the remaining spot in the losers bracket quarterfinals that is open to the people in the losers bracket, obviously.
For sure. Until then, we'll be signing off for now. We'll catch you guys in about half an hour for the continuation of the super block for the end of round of 16. Till then, we'll catch you guys later.